Ready? Okay. Hi again. I'm back with the second part of the HTV tumbler that I started yesterday. So I finished it earlier today, and it's looking pretty good. I had a hard time with the very top. I had to manipulate a little bit because it was too big, then it was kind of too small. So it'll work. But so this is what it came out. Here's the seam, the back seam. It's not perfect, but it's gonna be as perfect as it's gonna get. I had a bunch of questions throughout. I posted, I think, on 2 or 3 different groups. I had some questions, so I'm gonna try to answer them. I think I did a good job answering them. If I didn't, just ask me again. But someone had asked if I overlap these, and I do just slightly. I wish I didn't have to, but I can't cut it that close that it would not overlap. So when you put the epoxy, you could barely even tell, so I'm not really worried about that. So I'm gonna put that on here. One of the questions I had a few times was how do I epoxy it, or if I could show how I epoxy it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that in a minute. But just some of the questions that were asked, and I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget any of the main ones, was what is HTV? And I guess as a beginner, you probably wouldn't know. It's heat transfer vinyl, and it's normally what's used on t-shirts. Oh, I have a piece right here. So this is the glitter heat transfer vinyl. This is the piece I used on here. Like I said, mainly for t-shirts. You can use it on a lot more things than t-shirts. I've used it on wood, I've used it on glass, I've used it on a couple different things. So it has multi-functions. Why, a couple people asked why if you can just use regular glitter vinyl, and I guess you can. 2 main reasons that I didn't or probably couldn't. One, I like the look of the glitter HTV. It just looks more like glitter to me. 2, I don't know, this is really forgiving putting it on. Just the regular glitter, like I said, I have a tremor in my hand, so there's no way that I'd probably go through sheets and sheets before I was able to get like a good, straight line on it. So I just couldn't do it. But if somebody wants to do it, I'm sure it would look beautiful. I'm sure you could do it. But if you have a tremor, regular vinyl on here, first shot, it's just not gonna work. My heat gun. What kind of heat gun? This is just a regular heating tool that I got at Joann's. It's in the embossing section, which is like by the scrapbook section. It was like 20 bucks. I think I had a 50% off coupon, 10 bucks it came out to. Can't complain. The paint that I used for the Wonder Woman cup. So this is the cup. The paint, I don't even know if you can get, if anything would show how really pretty this is, but this is the paint. I have the blue can. It's from Hobby Lobby, and unfortunately I ripped off the tag, but that's the name, the brand of it. Can you get it without in the light? We're in the dark here. There's a reason for it, but there's the brand. It's just a metallic. It's in the section with like the not where the spray paint is, but the section with the like canvases and paintbrushes and all that good stuff. Have I done a 30 ounce? I have not done a 30 ounce yet. I just haven't had time, and I wasn't sure how it was gonna come out, so I chose a 20 ounce because I didn't want to waste all that HTV. So, all right, we'll get started on this now because I think I've talked too much. But anyway, how I epoxy, I'm pretty new, so I have to just find what works for me. Pretty basic. I use the Illuminate from Michaels or AC Moore, wherever I can find it. I have not had a problem with it, so I stick with what I know so far. Through trial and tribulations and trial and error, I have found just to take my time with it. The first couple cups I did, I just would mix it and start slapping on epoxy, and it looked like crap. So what I do is I mix, and I use this little silicone thing. I'm not even sure what you call this. I got it from wish.com. It was like $1, and it works perfect. What I do is I just usually dump it in there, let it all come out. Once that's empty, put in the second part, put it in there, I let it sit for a few minutes. Then I mix it with this.
My paint thing.
I kind of stole this from my daughter, and she didn't know till just right now. But it works really good because the epoxy comes right off. So I mix it. I mix it outside in for a good minute and a half, then inside out, same amount of time. Let it sit, and then what I do is I hit it with my heat gun in here for a few seconds at a time, maybe 3 to 5. Take it out. You can literally see the bubbles popping in there. Then I hit it again if I see some bubbles in there. I see one, but I'm gonna let it go. But because then I have to wait a couple more minutes to close off a little bit. But that's pretty much it. I've never had to sand a cup. Like I said, this works pretty good for me. I haven't had any issues. This is the one I did yesterday. This is one coat, and it's, you know, it's pretty perfect. It's pretty perfect, yeah. I mean, so find what works for you and just go with it. So, huh? Well, that's what? Sorry, she's saying something to me and I don't know what she's saying. So what I like to do with this before I start the epoxy is I just go over it one more time, because I want to make sure I got a good, it's adhered to the cup pretty good. I don't want any air getting in there and it lifting up. I've seen that happen. I haven't had it happen to me, but I don't want it to happen to me. Oh, and one of the things I learned too, especially if some of the people were like, oh, I'm new, yeah, put your hair up. Because I've had a few times that I've come with my hair down and either I get epoxy in my hair or I get hair in the cup. So if you have long hair, I suggest you put it up. So this is, I like to do it in the dark, and this is an Light that I got again at Joann's, probably with the 50% coupon. And it just, to me, it helps me see if there's any spots that need epoxy. So, yeah, oh, go ahead. So we're gonna put it down just so, got it? All right, thank you. All right, and I don't do it with the turner on. It just, I like to be able to control it. And I really feel like I need to concentrate when I do this, just because.
So you don't mess it up.
So I don't mess it up, right. I'm sorry, I should have put like music on or something. There's like weird dead silence, but. Said I got this at wish.com. It was $1. And $1 well spent, actually. So it does take a while. It comes from China, I believe, or somewhere. But
somewhere that's not here.
Right. And I have not had to, like, I know people put petroleum or things on there. If I take my time, I can get it pretty close to the top without it getting in there. I have gotten it in there on a few, but nothing too bad. Just remember, when you're doing these all HTV cups, they tend to take up pretty much epoxy. All right. Now, because I have it mostly all done, I'll turn this on. Oh, I want it to go the other way. There we go. And then now I focus on the top. My daughter asked how I made it go the other way. I just stop it for a few seconds and it starts going the other way. So I don't know if I've mentioned to you guys I have a tremor and it's acting up on this hand. I might have to.
Use the other hand.
The other hand is usually worse, but and all I'm doing is just, I have my fingertip up at the top trying to get epoxy up there. And usually with this, oh, I can't do it with this hand. This light, I can really tell where I need if I have any space, any sections that need. Looks pretty good, I think. I'll just go one time around. I try to get a starting point like the seam so that I don't keep looking at it over and over, not remembering where little spots up there. They should know to wear gloves. If this is, I use the finger method and I wear these gloves. So, okay, that looks good there. Now I'm just gonna pretty much from this angle.
Are you gonna do the bottom?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the bottom. That's last. This angle, I could pretty much tell if there's any spots that need a little bit more epoxy. Now, this may seem weird to some people. I know I'm sitting here staring at it, but I'll do that in a minute. That's what you gotta do. I see a few little bubbles in there, but I'm gonna take care of that in a minute. If I see a spot, I just add a little bit in there, rub it down. But this looks pretty good. One of the things that I struggle with is the bottom. For some reason, it always ends up feeling a little rough, even with two. Okay. Even with two layers. So I've just been doing this and making sure the bottom gets a little bit of coat, and then just going around the bottom like that. Oh, I hit that somewhere. Now my hand headed up here somewhere. I'm gonna see if I guess I don't see it, so I guess it must have filled itself in. I'm getting some of that on the floor. Alright, so I have a tiny little bit left. I'm just gonna put a little bit more throughout, especially the bottom.
To make sure that you didn't forget any tiny spaces.
Right. What I usually do is give this to my daughter and she makes mermaid molds out of
keychains and stuff.
Yep. So I think this looks good. All right. So that's that. Now what I will do is just because I'm a little OCD, I'm gonna look one more time just to make sure before I take these gloves off. Oh, I don't see any spots. Did you get a good look at the cup, Mama? Alrighty, I think that's pretty good. So what I normally do is I let it spin for maybe 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes. But for the sake of time, I want to get in there, but I'm not going to. I didn't get any on the rim. I got a little tiny bit up there past the white, but I could take care of that later. What I'll do now, like I said, I normally wait a little bit longer, but I'll just do it now. On this one, there's a tiny little, tiny little gap, but all right. Now that will spin. I will actually put my space heater on it, and it's usually dry within. I don't like this. No, you could leave it. They know what the space heater is. I usually let it dry. It's usually dried in 3 to 4 hours max. And we should be good to go. So I will, when it's done, what time is that? Might be done tonight. I might not check it till the morning. I'm not sure yet. I will come back and show you the final product with layer number 1 of epoxy. So any questions, comment down below and I will try to get back to you. Thanks.
Bye.